dairy management gets very nervous when I do these things for Mark because they know how they got me doing one of these things. So they don't. So again, my name is Len Schiller. I know you just had lunch. You had a great session with Bill Brandon. I'm loud. Is this too loud? No. And I'd like to make this very interactive, so feel free to interrupt at any time. I'll answer as many questions. This is also a workshop, so if you brought your laptop or your iPad or whatever, we're actually going to be inside some different social media things, changing things, right? Setting you up, understanding the different kinds of sessions they don't tell you about that I wish to fix, but also how to use the most out of it. So we're going to get into professional and personal branding here in a second. Now, I know Bill, did he have you guys create an actual personal brand? Did you actually write anything out yet? What'd you write out? Awesome, great. So I'm going to take that just a little bit step further, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I created mine, and then we're going to talk about your elevator pitch and throwing that up onto these different platforms, and then which platforms you should be using. The good thing is, I think that all this stuff is going to be very vital for you in the future. So, when I talk about brands, especially to academics, which I still talk to, my researchers, my scientists, my farmers, I'm there at Dairy Management to connect farmers back to consumers. I don't know if you guys know this, but only 2% of people in the United States are actually connected to farming in any way. And there's a big disconnect between consumers and farmers about what they're actually doing on their land. So we're trying to get farmers digitally connected back to the consumers that are using their products. Well, usually when I start talking about brand, this is what people think of, right? Who is this guy? Michael Brewer. Right. He got very, very famous from this, right? Yeah. And when you see these icons, you immediately think of Michael.
Nike, too.
And Nike, yeah, Nike did a great job with this. Sorry, my clicker's not working. I'm walking way too far. So when I talk brands, they're immediately like, dude, that works for Michael, doesn't work for me. I'm not a brand, right? But I'm sure Bill beat that into your head this morning that you are, along with your company. Because all it is basically brand's perception, right? People's perception of their experience with your products or services. You're their personal brand. And it's what you consistently deliver. Okay, that's big. Because you can consistently suck, right? And you'll get branded that way. Okay? So whatever you're consistent at, and I apologize if I use words of service that I might not be training for my farmers or Notre Dame, but I get very passionate about these things. People are highly distracted nowadays, right? I don't know if you've ever seen this meme, but it runs around quite a bit on Facebook. If you are not constantly talking about yourself and what you're doing, no one will remember, okay? In this book, in Empowering Yourself, the organization game revealed, this is back actually before the event of social media. This is back in 1996. This guy wrote this book. And this is how, and I don't know, like when you guys went to college, but this is what I was taught, right? The first blue line is your work, your performance, right? You do the crap out of that, your day-to-day, you'll be fine. Your image will take care of itself, and you don't really need to worry about exposure, because your work will speak for itself. That's reversed in this day and age. That doesn't work anymore. Now you'll see now, right? Your day-to-day is very important. You need to consistently deliver good stuff. But if you're not worried about your image, you're going to have some serious problems. And if you're not worried about exposure, you're not going to get anywhere. And what I mean by exposure is being able to talk about yourself without being a jerk face, right? We know those people. And a lot of times, probably people consider me a jerk face, but I consider it branding. You need to talk about yourself. Because no one else is going to do it for you. Because well, guess what? They're really busy too. And they're worried about themselves a lot too. So,
So we talk about yourself so that you between noise and chatter and such.
Oh yeah. There's a huge difference between noise and chatter and substance. Go out on Twitter right now, and you'll see that 90% of it is noise and chatter, right? I don't want you being a part of that. I want you to put out substance content. Now, Can you do that? Is it pretty easy to put out good content? Yes? No? You don't know?
Qualified, yeah.
What's good, right? It's in the eye of the beholder, right? You may think it's awesome. And in fact, when I talk to brands, because I go around the country and I talk to a lot of brands, if you're out in California, I was just with Hilmer Cheese, they're great guys out there. But guess what they'll do? Is they'll create something that they think is awesome. The marketing department will come up with this image or picture of cheese, you know, and just, oh, this is so beautiful, let's put it out on our Facebook network. And then no one shares it, right? Because people don't care, right? They don't care about it like you care about it. You have to think about what they care about, not what just you care about. And you have to combine the two. So these are the things that you need to ask yourself about performance and image and exposure. I'll start with performance. Can you say that you know what you were doing and you can answer questions about it? You would not believe how many people don't know how to answer this question. Can you answer it?
Yeah.
Very good. Right? Because if you don't have this one, this is your foundation here. Nailed. You can't go any farther. Because your image will get all screwed up, and you'll be exposing a broken image or performance. Your image. Do you feel that others trust you in what you say you do? How do you gauge if people trust you? Like you just did that little thing with Bill where you filled out all the information. How do you gauge? Come on, anybody. Come on, you gotta wake up. Like this is why I know we just had lunch, but still. They recommend you. They recommend you. That's a great one. Right. They ask you to help. You're so smart. They ask for your input, your opinion. So if no one's asking that about what you do, what's going on?
Lack of trust.
They don't know you, which could be exposure, or they know you and they don't trust you. Your image is jacked up. You guys sucked.
Or they don't like it.
Yes, me?
Or they don't like it.
Or they don't like it. Yeah, which goes along with brand. That'll be my social media secrets. You gotta be blank out there.
In this sense, on the staff side of a nonprofit like the Chamber of Commerce, if they trust you being the board of directors, they're less likely to micromanage.
Yes. Yeah, if you're being micromanaged, I mean, your boss may suck, but he doesn't trust you. Right? And if you're micromanaging somebody, right, you don't trust them, do you? Right? It's that intern thing, you know, when you get a bunch of interns in, you micromanage the crap out of them because you're scared of them breaking stuff. We have it all the time. You only got a few months.
It also says something about yourself.
It does say something about yourself.
Yeah. You don't trust yourself.
And then what brand are you projecting to that person, right? You're just that crappy micromanaging boss. I've had those. How long do you usually last with a micromanaging boss? Not long, right? So do you guys have high employee turnover? Exposure. Do others come to you instinctively when they need something related to what you do? That's your exposure. You want to write these down? Performance, image, exposure. You'll get to that, don't worry about it. And then you jump right there. Build brand. So, Bill helped you out a little bit at the beginning. I'm going to get a little more specific in what Bill gave you. Okay? How to write a brand statement. We're going to do this really quick because you're going to work on this at night, right, at the bar. Right? You're going to work on your brand statement. Because being, well, I like this statement. Trusted leader in the business community. What does that say to anybody? It's very vague, isn't it? Are you trusted? What's trust mean? Trust is like cool, right? If you say you're cool, are you cool? Really?
In your mind.
If you have to say it, you'll play it.
Right? So let's do this. It's a simple template. 2, whatever industry you're in, be specific about it. Okay? Don't say to the general worldwide population, because you're not talking to all of them. This is mine. To dairy industry, done similar as a thought leader for creative integrated marketing communication solutions delivered by digital communications and educational training. That's a mouthful, right?
It is.
Would I ever tell that to anybody?
Nope.
No. That's what I have in the back of my brain. Right? Because my actions are going to follow this. Let's everybody write. computers. I want you to write up yours. Pick your industry. Pick what you want to be. Or what you think you are. And how are you going to deliver that information to them? Face-to-face, events. Speaking engagements. Email. Dean, that's a big one. What's your audience?
Successful business leaders.
All the successful business owners in the world. Fortune 500. Small business, Fortune 500. So big guys, the big guys.
Big guys and small.
Big guys and small guys.
Yes.
Okay. Big guys and small guys don't play in the same pool when they're looking for things.
And I want to separately.
Okay, that's great. Which one's your bread and butter?
Small business.
Small business. But you want to get to Fortune 500.
No, in fact, do get to Fortune 500.
Okay.
Actually, that's why I took the job, so I can reach each
You
one.
can reach the
more
Fortune
easily.
500.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you want to be when you grow up? Who do you want to be talking to? You want to be talking to small business? You want to talk to the big boys? Both for sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. In what industry?
Financial services.
Very good. Write that down. Financial services. Anybody else want to share? Everyone's scared.
And just sort of working from what we did in the previous session.
Great.
Even shorter, an effective multimedia communicator for small and large audiences from home media, from television to one.
Small and large audiences. Is any kind of audience?
Any kind of audience.
No, we'll do it afterwards, because I don't want to do that during class. I want you to get as specific as possible, because you're going to drop it down. You're going to keep dropping down, keep getting to that very specific person. Because we're going to talk about how do you build a persona, because you need a target audience you're going to be talking to. Okay? That'll be coming up. I knocked it down to 140 characters, too, just so I can remember it very quickly. This is a creative marketing professional who teaches you how to use social media and digital communication tools. Why are those terms so different than the top ones? What are the bottom terms?
It's condensation of, or an integration of the top.
Yeah, I knocked it down. I'm also trying to use more friendly, less jargony words. Right? But remember, I don't say this to anybody. This is just something I keep in the back of my mind. Now, when it gets to our LinkedIn profiles, we're going to go in and tear those things up. You're going to keep this in the back of your mind, right? Let's do an elevator pitch. You guys have done these, right? The elevators here are really fast. That's nice. I don't like waiting on elevators. When you're doing an elevator pitch, this is where you talk about yourself to that target audience. This is where you're telling them that you can solve their problems. But this is very different than what I wrote before, right? Because on mine, I can give your communication staff the skills to tell a story that will make your audience do what you want them to do, even if you think all your staff knows how to do is send out a press release. I guarantee I can change it. What can you write? What would you write for us? Better return on investment and what? Help their protect their continuity and what? Okay.
Sorry, you're presenting it, you're asking me.
Yeah. Yeah, we just ran in the elevator. You're telling me exactly what you did. What do you do? I'm a business guy. I'm a target audience. I'm the person you want to sell something to. What will you tell them? Interesting, sort of. Maybe. You got a story with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a story about it.
Well,
It gets hard quick, right?
yeah.
Because it should be in the back of your mind. You should be testing these things out all the time. Right? Can I give you an example? Yeah, I can give you tons of examples of how I did it. right? I did it at Notre Dame, I did it with their advantage, right? What I'm asking you is that you take what you just said there, condense it down, throw a story around it, get me interested. Profitability, we saved the company 50% on last year. You know what that kind of stuff like? And you mentioned who it is.
Because if you get that, something that we can do very quickly, I can give you the life examples.
That's what you want, right? Because the life example is what's going to pop back in your head. Versus being generic.
Let me ask you a question.
Right.
One of the things that sometimes heard about is
Humor is awesome. Humor is so awesome. Why? Why is humor awesome? Tell me. Anybody?
The ice?
Breaks the ice? Oh, hold on one second. I just want to answer this question real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. So he's saying, he asked, is it good to make someone laugh? Right? Why would it be good to make somebody laugh?
It builds rapport.
makes you more likable. Trust.
Lockable, trust,
And it brings you at the same level.
same level,
And it builds rapport.
memories, relatable.
It's an emotional shifter and it creates a neutral place.
Emotional. You get them emotionally, right? You are hitting me emotionally. You're telling me all the right kind of words, but we're not relating yet, right?
We gotta be able to, get them to be comfortable with you, but start connecting and listening.
Right. Is that, were we comfortable there? No, I don't mean to kill on you, not at all, right? It's awkward, right? Why are you talking to me? Right? Tell me a story. Entertain me.
Once you do, you're actually listening, you want to know.
You want to know the rest of the story. And remember, our audience, how are they compared to goldfish? They're more distracted, right? 1 second less. They really don't care. And the only reason you have their attention is that they're stuck in the elevator with you. Right?
We're going to move from an escalator speech to an elevator.
That's what the direction slower.
Let me ask you a question. Sure. Is it on the side of the business? Isn't it also a strategy?
Of course. Of course. Because if you jump right into business, where are we at today at lunch? Who's sitting at lunch? You did, right? And we talked about Detroit, right? About where we're from, what we were doing. Someone else didn't lunch. And she immediately brought up where you're from. Right? There you go. Right. Sorry. You're too close. It's your birthday, though. Is that what you're saying? You want to read yours?
Chamber. We can assist Hispanic entrepreneurs to start, grow, and sustain their businesses as well as to advocate for them politically and civically.
Okay. How do you do? No, you didn't do terrible.
Can you say that?
Say it out loud. You got to give it back.
We can assist we can assist Hispanic entrepreneurs to start, grow, and sustain their businesses, as well as to advocate for them politically and civically.
The monotone really works.
Is that, what he just said, is that telling to somebody like a networking, or is that an advertisement on a newspaper? It sounds to me more of an advertisement on a newspaper.
Would it work for either?
Well, just what he's saying, with his position himself. So, do you want us to come up with something that when I'm networking with you, and I'm doing that elevator speech, is more personal, or like that? Like that's something more.
I want you to wrap it in a story. He hit the key talking points, right? He knows this is what we talk about at work, right? The marketing department figured out these are the things that are going to connect with the audience. And he went right through it. Boom, 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 right? But without wrapping the story, without any kind of connection, without any emotion, right? You know what I mean? It's not going to go anywhere.
So you're saying that if you want to give an example of one of your members who has accomplishing certain
What's your best story when you're talking to somebody and they really get it? When you do? The chamber, no, we're talking about the chamber. Either one, your business. When you were talking to somebody, you see it come on in their eyes. Do you know what that story is? Do you pay attention to that story? Do you constantly change it? I understand about the lady, but do you know that story? You know it, right? And you know when to go in and kill that story. You've gotten their attention. And you know that story is going to kick them over where they're going to do yes. Yes, they want to work with you. Right?
So then you gotta know your audience. You gotta know.
Bingo. Bingo. Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a second. But what I'm trying to get across today, right, is you're going to be talking tomorrow about your personal brand statement. This thing is ugly, slow, and stupid. Keep it in the back of your mind, right? It's got your key talking points. But when you get over to this, right, when you get to that elevator pitch, don't read that whole story. Make it personal. Now, how does this relate to social media? It's just digital. Right? It's a lot more. And guess what? It's permanent. Right? And fleeting. And the rest of the world is seeing it. So if you screw it up. No, it's fleeting as in, like, it moves through the channels pretty quickly. Like, Twitter is very fleeting. Right? And there's all sorts of new, like, new apps out there that where they don't last very long. Like, it's the disposable like Snapchat. Our Tiny that just came out, right? They last 24 hours and they're gone. With Snapchat, it lasts a couple of seconds and it's gone. There's something new all the time. Okay, was that fun? You want you to work on that?
Can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
I guess I'm struggling with, like, they were talking about who's the audience. Is that because some of us, well, at least me, I have two type of things that I do. I have the business, and then some people have chamber. So do you integrate both, or it should be one brand and who you're talking to? I'm kind of unclear.
You're always going to be one brand. But how you're going to talk to people may change. The stories that you use will change.
Okay.
Because
Depending on who your audience is.
well, do you talk the same way when you're in church as you do here? Or when you're with your friends? You change, right? But that core of who you are and those attributes should not change. And that's where I see a lot of problems with social media is that somebody's this way in real life and they get on social media and they're a completely different person. Right? And we're going to talk about how you can't do that. And if you do that, what's going to happen next to you? But that's what's going to happen. It really will. And if you think that you can maintain different personalities or social media profiles, it will come back and bite you so badly.
So
Right?
it's a matter of what you highlight, what you amplify.
Uh-oh.
So wait a minute.
It does matter what you highlight and amplify. We're going to talk about what you should be sharing. What happened to my screen? What'd you guys break?
Did it go to sleep?
Okay, it's my computer. Yes.
So what you see is what you get, is what you're saying. There should always be what you see, it shouldn't be shade. It change, it should be a metamorphosis that we're promoting. Is that what you're saying?
I am, and we're going to get to why that's very, very powerful. Okay. So, with every interaction, I promise to give you my best possible return, and the time to take it with me. In other words, I want your trust. You trust me to be honest, to have your back, the best interest in mind, and give you a reason. How easy is it to break that trust? You guys remember this, right? We're all old enough in here, maybe a couple in the back over here. No one really knows how long it takes to break that trust, but it's pretty quick. And getting it back is practically impossible. If you've ever broken a friendship with a friend by doing something stupid, with too many drinks or something like that, it takes a long damn time for them to trust you. You're a storyteller. There isn't anybody in here that doesn't know how to tell a story. You may think you don't. Right? It's gross. How do you tell stories? Once upon a time. You already got me. I'm asleep. Thank you. How do you tell stories? Images, great.
Video.
Depends the situation you're at, because I'm a storyteller first.
stories when you're talking business?
Yes, I know.
That's how you get business, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you keep their attention. If you drop facts and figures on people, what happens to them?
You lose it.
You're gone, right? There's always those people. Yeah, if I'm selling no accounts, you better be talking numbers. But in a good way. Yeah.
You want to be able to post stories that people can comment and relate to.
Right. So if you go back here, real quick, can you tell a story about you very quickly that gets me interested? Can you do it? Business-wise or personal? Business-wise. We're talking business here. Personal, it's very easy. Because we can relate really quickly to personal.
Yeah. One thing that we do with someone else is we can receive.
He's trying to repair everything he's in the game.
An example. So one of the stories that we use a lot of times for a meeting conversation is to say, if there's a tornado approaching, where are you going to be?
Louder.
What's going to happen?
I know it needs to mic up.
Yeah. So we can hear you.
Say it again.
Yeah. So
We need a mic. Can we get one?
everybody here.
Yeah.
So, instead of talking about business continuity, one of what often do is tell companies what you should do if tornadoes approaching, where's your staff going to be? Typically, we'll tell them a story about us saying that some business owners talking about it, and there was a weather warning, and they started looking at each other like, what you do. My question is, what is that impact? And then they start getting nervous and emotional, and then they really start listening.
Exactly. So when you're writing out your personal brand statements tonight, and practicing, right? I want you thinking stories. Stories for that target audience, which we're going to get into. How to tell your story. Just be you. Honestly. Don't try to be somebody else when you're telling a story. Talk to people like their friends. Use your experiences and practice. Who do you practice on?
The mirror.
You can't practice on the mirror.
With my
I think you
wife.
got the biggest critic is going to be that person looking at you in the mirror, though. And your worst people to practice on are your friends. They're not going to give you honest feedback, right?
Your spouse.
Go to networking events and practice there. You'll get better. Yeah, you can watch them on YouTube. Right?
Toastmasters.
Toastmasters. Good place to go. Exposure equals sharing. So, there's my professional life there. There's my personal. If you Google me right now on your laptop, you will find me. I'll be the #1 result for my name on the whole page. That's all you're going to find. Why? Because they have an unusual name. But I still win there. My personal life and professional life are highly exposed. This line in the sand is what you draw. I don't care where you draw it, but I'll bet you anything, it's cutting through your personal life right now. We're no longer in the day and age where you have this work life and you have a home life. Social media has blurred a lot of that, right? I'm sure you're Facebook friends with colleagues, with people from church, with work associates, and with the moron friends that you grew up with, right? And your high school friends, that high school girlfriend that won't go away. Then you have your private life. What's your private life? Tell me what your private life is. Your private life. Your medical records? And Randy about your medical records. Everybody talk about what information? Medical what? Financial information? Your spouse. Very good. My wife is very exposed.
Your PIN number.
Your private life is stuff that you should not be talking about online. Because guess what? It's going to match up with your brand. And when you lose it on Facebook, that's going to hurt.
The problem is your classmates are there.
I know.
They expose.
They will expose you.
Yeah.
That's why you hide them. I'm actually, in our Facebook class, I'm going to show you how to protect yourself from your high school friends. right? And how you can stop them from hosting you in bad situations. But what I want to get to here about ranking is that what is Facebook? Tell me right now, Facebook, how many people are on Facebook? Almost over. How about Twitter? A few? Okay. LinkedIn? Everybody? Google Plus? A few? Okay. YouTube? Less? A few more. What are you building? You're building your brand, right? Who's going to view your brand? Anybody that Googles you, you're going to find out. Right?
Or you give up by accident.
You did by accident. Who's the most important audience that's going to find you?
Employers or customers.
No. Good guess though. You're right in line. Who's the most important audience?
My target audience.
You guys are all thinking very big right now. Yeah? Family and friends. But not this current family and friends. The next generation. You're building a lifetime legacy that's going to survive forever after you're way gone. Tell you a story. So, my grandfather worked very hard as a farmer for a long time and taught me a lot of great lessons over the years. I have 3 pictures of him, basically. One's on my wall. And everything that he taught me was just verbal, right? If he had a Facebook account, you know, back in the 1920s when he was struggling, a young dad, trying to make a farm, do you think I'd go back and read his stuff? What are you leaving behind? You're leaving a massive trail of who you are. Do you think when you go off on United Airlines because they dropped you again, because they screwed up your seat, that your great-great-great-grandkids are going to understand that Grandpa's not an asshole and that he's having a bad day? Be careful about what you're leaving behind. That's why I'm always very cautious about doing anything online that can be tracked back to you. And really, there's almost nowhere, even emails, people can grab, people can post. So be careful about that.
But you know, the founding fathers were extremely careful in leaving a record for posterity. And you look at President Adams and George Washington, minutia, everyday Jefferson, detailed minutia about their correspondence, about their expenses, how much would they owe. So then there's a lot of precedent that survive history.
Yeah, and you're leaving that history too.
Well, I don't know if I'm deserving of that.
So young records is not an excuse.
And that's why you need to talk about kids about it. No, the other. Not very good. So she works for a screening company. So she can get any of you right now. She has right now.
So, somebody had posted something on Facebook, they didn't name the client who the research was done for, but they mentioned the results of the specific name. And then, they were friends with a lot of other people in the company, and those people made comments. 15 people that filed on the spot on this day, even though the client wasn't mentioned, just because they put a simple little thing that the company was actually going to see what was being posted, and if we didn't start the post, or if you contributed to that conversation, they all would find it.
Right.
They take it as serious.
And I'll tell you right now that the National Labor Relations Board is going after companies that are fired people before that. So on both sides now with social media, companies kind of had fair play to do whenever they felt like somebody blew it on social media. Now the National Labor Board and the federal government are saying, you know what? No, you don't have any right to their social media profiles, and if you do something like that, we'll come after you with full guns. And so it's actually, we're in a bad situation right now because this is highly undefined. And I'm a big proponent of employee advocacy. I build employee advocacy programs. The rules are very gray on where this stuff fits, right? Because do you have to mention that you work for the company? In your profile, you have to say, opinions are my own. Have you seen companies say that you have to say opinions are your own? Have you seen that on people's profiles?
Yeah.
That's illegal now. The company cannot tell you to say opinions are your own. And they'll throw out all the policies that are against that. Which means an entire social media policy, which means that if you fire someone over it, they're actually just now back in the company.
I think they just reversed that. I think they passed that law, they enforced to actually do that. And they fired, and I don't think the company was fired a lot of people. And now they just reversed it.
Yeah.
Read about that.
It's a complete mess out there. All.
Let me share this because I don't know how many of us are constituents that operate in the national services industry, but they have in our food industry.
You might want to talk about it.
Sorry, the global insurance industry is part of financial services. More and more, we're going towards needing to get a global license. And what's going on is the majority of central bank authorities on the global level are looking to protect their social media.
Yep.
So, and if you're declined by one, then basically, that's serious. You go back to it? Not blacklisted, but they just say when they come back, if you sign off on the central bank policy, that you give them permission to also.
So I just think I scared all of you off social media, right?
Having a teenager, they use it a lot and they could be everything.
I know.
So when I tell my kids that, you shouldn't post that because that's hoping that it's not right and the school is going to make you do, their work is going to make you do. They say, all my generation are doing it. So by the time we get to the level of the world, and everybody is going to do the same thing. They don't really care that what they're saying.
Until they do something very, very valuable. I had a Notre Dame recruit that sent some really awful things out on Twitter, and it was right in the process when we were recruiting him, and he lost everything. Every D1 school, Michigan, Notre Dame, Northwestern, Michigan State, all said no way. He went to a D3 school, D2 school wouldn't even touch him. And he's devastated. I mean, he had a chance of taking his entire thing out of a really rough situation and lost it all just because of social media. Oh, did you? For tweeting? Yeah. Well, that NFL stuff. And we're partners with the NFL, full disclosure. We've had lots of discussion at our company about how we handle the NFL situation. I personally think that Roger's gone. No matter how much he says he's not going to resign,
Who is
he's
gone?
already the scapegoat on this.
Adele's gone, I agree with you.
He's gone. He'll clean it up, and then they'll fire us.
So where can we go for a current social media policy? I mean, is there a place that we go in terms of the, something that's current?
Socialmedia.org is the best place to go right now online to find out the most recent stuff. They maintain a whole library out there of all the major changes, and so we follow what they do quite a bit. To get back to my presentation, that secret stuff up there, that you know what that is. Don't ever expose that. Just keep it down. So with digital communication tools, you can shape your personal brand and make it the way you want to. It can be a huge asset to you. So we're going to do a little quiz. Just like on Facebook, right? I want you to get out little pens and papers. I know you've taken these things, just like, what career should I be in? How am I as a friend? These kind of things. So here we go. Which modern family friend are you? We're going to be figuring out how much you want to share on social media. So are you Gloria? Are you Cameron? Are you Jay? Are you Claire? Jay. So write down the letters. Okay? You're going to need all these letters at the end. You know how these quizzes work. Pick a card game. Poker, Go Fish, Solitaire, Crazy Eights. Which card game are you? This is very scientific. We've been testing this forever. Just with the letter. Don't write poker, because I won't know the letter. Which kitchen utensil are you? Are you a blender, the wooden spoon? We all know what the wooden spoon's for.
That's me.
Strainer, the measuring cup. You don't have the yellow out, that's okay. Choose your Sesame Seed character. Cookie Monster, Big Bird, Oscar, Elmo. Anybody picks Elmo, get out. Did you pick Elmo? Which sitcom family would you fit into? Friends, The Office, Seinfeld, Downtown Abbey?
Full press, yes, definitely.
Ooh, Jack Coke. Okay, add them all up. So for the first question, if you wrote down A, you get 3 points. Second question, if you wrote down A, you get 1 more point. So you got 4, right? You know how to do this. Okay. You guys all run businesses, right? Part of the chamber. You should be able to do these things. Kids don't know how to add them. Talking about why that's not going to work. You're going to have problems there. Because you're going to forget which one you posted to. Oh, yeah. You can keep it then. I'm not recommending it. Plus, if Facebook catches you, they can delete one of the accounts without any knowledge. Yep. They're actually going after all the all the people that are using fake names right now. So anybody that put up a name that maybe is a stage name or something like that, they're kicking them off. There's a huge lawsuit out in San Francisco right now because all the drag queens weren't using their real names. And they want those people to create pages, but the people don't want to because they don't want people to know their real names. They don't want to be harassed.
Oh, there you are, right there.
Okay, how we doing? If you're talking like this, that means you added them all up.
I did.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so score of 5-8. You might as well be the Great Wall of China. You don't like to share anything or want to share anything, right? 9-12, you've lost ties and pantyhose, but still prefer others to see only your professional side. How many 9-12 do we got? We got a few. How about 5-8? Any 5-8s? We got a couple more. 13-16, you're almost one and the same, although you still hold boundaries. You found a comfortable balance between sharing your professional and personal. And I'm in the 17-20 range. No, I'm in the 13-16s. 13-16. How about 17-20s? No 17-20s? Boy, this is dead millennial back there. What you see is what you get from selfies from grandma and family Christmas to your new office space. You're exposing everything, right? It doesn't really matter. I'm not here to criticize where you're at on the spectrum at all. I'm just showing you, you know what, you need to know what this is before you get into things. Because what I would recommend to a 5-8, you know what, be happy with LinkedIn. Don't wander off anywhere else, because you really don't want to deal with it, right? Whereas 17-20, I can give you a whole bunch of new things. You want to try out Tiny, T-I-I-N-Y. It's quite a lot. Tiny, T-I-I-N-Y. New app. It's like an Instagram it's just weird. Okay.
What would be the problem with 5?
The only thing with 5-8 is that there's not a problem, but social media probably isn't your whole big thing. And I'd rather you just have a professional life out there. That's my recommendation. You don't have to go anywhere else.
That's what gives me a life.
Right?
I have over 2,000 over 2,000.
Hold on, guys. Do you have it? There is no idea. No, it's ideal for you. That's what I'm trying to get across. I'm sure that social media gurus and experts and all that, I get called that kind of crap all the time. They probably told you you need to do everything. Right? Anything pops up, you need to grab it. No, you don't. You know, if people want to be more comfortable for you, a 5-8, I would recommend LinkedIn. Stick there, because it's not really much of a social network yet. It's getting better. It's getting stronger. You don't need to deal with it. Should you be on Twitter? Not at all.
You might miss the one, make effort.
Give it a break.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm worried about the bookkeeping. Okay. Now, exposure. This is what I want you guys doing. You got your business cards. Who doesn't have a business card in place?
What?
No business cards? Who doesn't have a business card? You have? Well, you don't have to get them out. I'm just saying, you have business cards, right? That's traditional, right? Attending events. Hey, look where you're at. Great. Network while you're here. Join peer groups. You guys ever heard of masterminds?
Yeah.
Join the masterminds. Get involved with those.
It's basically, it doesn't vary that much.
Are you a CEO? Yeah, that's what you can do. Right. Your guys below you, they need.
The downside of that diagram is that you have to have two or three systems manage that entire operation. As a project, you don't have to manage that.
I'm going to show you why you don't need to replace this. Okay. Social media sites, right? Guest log, email, and email database. How many people have a CRM that they use right now? Customer relationship management, right? You need one. I'm going to show you some free ones out there. You can use your LinkedIn if you want to, but it's better to have an actual tool that keeps track of this stuff. Email database. Is email dead? No, not even close. Probably the best performing tool out there to reach people right now. When I talk about social media, I'm talking about your personal brand. If you are using a lot of social media for your company and you're not doing anything with email, you're blowing it. Because I tell you what, social media is one of the last tools you should be using when it comes to outreach. Oh, good. Okay? You should be using, I still believe heavily in websites, blogs, and things like that, but that email database is very, very important, especially if you want people to take an action.
So why is it different from social media? What is the difference between emails and? Okay, so I mean, my question would be, what is the difference? You're saying we can do this, but we can't do this.
I'm saying that the difference here is that with social media, if you are on Facebook, and you're using your company's stuff, and they're doing Facebook right now, if they're not paying for posts, right, it's pay to play game now. So that huge audience that you build up probably isn't seeing anything that you're pushing out unless you're paying for it. With Twitter, they're going around the same route with this algorithm and using ads. By the way, Twitter is full of a lot of noise and clutter, right? So there's a chance that if people aren't even seeing it anyway, unless you're specifically calling them out. When it comes to LinkedIn, people don't go on there very often, right? They're just not, they have a profile, they set it up, but how often do they actually go there to get information? But if they get in your email database, you got it. Because guess where they go a lot? Is their email, right? So if you can get in there. That's the most important thing. When you meet people and you're networking with them, get email addresses. If you have an event for your company and you're not collecting email addresses at the door, you're blowing. If you don't have something on your website to have white papers there, as a little sign up, hey, give me your email before you get to my next little free white paper that has a lot of great information for you. You need that. Okay? That email database is very, very important. So it's a CRM tool. Too many companies run around with CRM tools and don't know what their salespeople are talking to who. Right? And guess what? If that person that's your top level salesman and he's running around outside and an artist like me who writes a motorcycle and he gets ran over by a bus, everything's gone. Right? That CRM would hold all of his contacts. You'd be able to transfer those and along with the information about what they're doing.
Is it mandatory in your emails or your newsletters to give people the right to opt out?
Oh my gosh, if you are not, you can totally get screwed. So there's canned spam laws out there. They've been around for a long time now, and they protect the consumer pretty well. Is it 14,000 or 16,000 per email per person if you get caught spamming. Yeah. So you always want to have the unsubscribed out bottom. Now that doesn't mean from a personal email stance you can email your like coworkers, but if you're blasting it out like an HTML newsletter to a massive audience, You better have me subscribe to that product.
Reception, you just can't start that.
Yeah, I have one of our top level researchers has a fairly large email list, about 2,000 people in the media that he likes blasting out to, and he was scared the crap out of me. I had to like physically go in there and put in unsubscribe at the bottom of his personal emails that he sent out because he sent out something that I knew were going to cut the bus. Someone else have a question? All right, building and maintaining relationships. I am going to show you a bunch of little tools now to help you maintain this stuff digitally. Okay. So, just to show you once, this is. I know a lot of times in business that we talk back and forth via email a lot, right? You probably do that, but I'm seeing my conversations jump from email into Facebook, which is the top right, into LinkedIn, which is the top left, and into Twitter, direct messaging, right? These are all different ways people can contact me, and guess what? You need them, right? If you're a business and you're not 5 to 8, right, and you want to use these other platforms, expect to start talking to these other places, right? Because when a client calls you, do you call them back or do you email them? You call them back, right? Because that's their form of communication. They stuck on the, they pick up the phone, which I tell you what, our millennials call it. But you know, millennials need to talk on the phone. But I would always talk to my staff, like, if that person calls you, you call them back. Because that's the way they want to be talked to. If you call you and you send them an email, you know how much you piss them off already? Right? But this is the way a lot of other people are starting to talk now. So when someone contacts me through LinkedIn, do I pick up the phone? No, I contact them back through LinkedIn. Right? If they hit me up on Twitter, do I pick up the phone? No, I contact them back through Twitter.
Unless they ask you to call them.
Unless they ask you to call, yeah. Come on, technical. You're killing me. I love this. Do you guys know James Malcher? You know who he is? He's hilarious. James. You should go out and read his blog. It's fabulous. James Malcher, right there. This guy's lost more money in businesses and regained it, lost it all again, regained it, and all he does is talk about how he's screwed up so many times in so many relationships. He's hilarious. But he has great ways to be remembered. And that's one of those things. So if you're in the elevator, you're talking to me, and we do that little story thing, what's another way to be remembered? James has a great technique for being remembered. $2 bills. He gets them in the thousands, right? Every month, sticks them in his pocket. No matter where he's at, if he's tipping, or if he's talking to somebody and he needs to give them some kind of money, something like that, right? He always uses a $2 bill. Why? Not a lot of people have them, and they always remember who he is. He's a $2 bill guy, right? It's that being remembered. You need to think of the things that go along with your elevator pitch to be remembered, right? I love this technique from the fact, and I actually had a conference speaker come in, just like we're doing. He was at Notre Dame, and it was a Bill Arnold taking the Impact, Leading with Impact series. It's the first guy comes in there, acts like he doesn't know what he's doing, and everybody kind of freaks out, and then he shows how badly he can start the presentation. That's his whole game. But throughout the whole day, he used that $2 bills for right answers. I have never forgotten that, ever. Right? You guys might remember me because I use bad words. Not all the time, sometimes. And I have a bolt head, right? And I'm the biker guy. That's what I was told the other day. Someone was at the box there. Yeah, I remember being the biker guy.
I love that game.
And they notes are awesome.
Because I find
Because nobody does.
you stayed around for mine still on the call. I still carry that.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
What are you saying? Easily Do. Easily Do is an app that you can download right now for free. Hook it up to all your social networks. And what it will do, and this is a big thing for me, okay? It can pull in like all of your like schedule and what you got going on and Google Calendar. But the best feature that I like in it, and I know this is kind of sad, is birthdays. It knows all the birthdays of everybody that's connected in your networks if they have their birthday on it. And it lets you do the entire month in one sitting. So you can go say happy birthday, say happy birthday, say happy birthday, say happy birthday. So I never tell anybody happy birthday on Facebook anymore. Easily do does it for me. I never miss anybody's birthday, and I'm connected to over 1,000 people on Facebook. Right?
But it's a generic birthday.
It seems like it doesn't matter, right? It seems like I'm cheating the system, but I'm not really being authentic. But when they say thank you, I reply back and go, you're welcome. And you reply. So easily does it for me. Not everybody replies, and not everybody says thank you. But when they do, I'm right there.
Then that's where you reach out and touch.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a little scam trick that got me the other day. Well, it's not a scam, but it's kind of a marketing cheat. I signed up for this white paper, did the download, and you know how like you get those emails back and they say, thank you so much for downloading our white paper. By the way, we'll probably be in contact. Someone's going to reach out to you in a few days. You know, and I'm like, thanks for the generic email back. Appreciate it, right? I got home the other day and the guy's like, hey, thanks for downloading my white paper. How are you doing today? And I wrote it back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, got me. It wasn't him. It was the machine doing it. He had nothing in there except for just a few lines. No image, no nothing else, no one subscribed. Just, hey, thanks for downloading the white paper. How you doing? How's your business going? And I wrote him back, and then I was like, oh my gosh. But then he responded. He's like, thanks for writing this. How effective was that? Because he jumped out of the marketing stuff that we do all the time, marketing automation, which saves us plenty of time. And I'm going to show you some more tips on that. But make sure you're there to respond. Yes?
One of the more effective emails that I've seen is when someone puts your name in the subject before you even open up the email.
Do you always use the right name? Do you use the right name when you do that?
Yeah.
Because I sometimes play it. I put in Donald instead of Don. I'm Don, right? But I put in Donald so I know it's a marketing automation. It bounces back to me. I just want to see if it works. And if marketing automation is broken, I get the deer and it's blank. I get kind of mad at companies, they don't know what they're doing.
Can you give her the microphone, please?
There's too many programs out there already that are spamming you because they pick up your name from the list and they spam you and they put your name, so I don't even open it because it has my name. I open it because it has a subject line that addresses something I know I'm involved with, so.
Right. But you delete out all those other ones. If your company is ripping lists from the internet, I hope you get sued. I really do. Do not rip names. That's such garbage to scrape.
Should say that again.
Don't scrape names off the internet. If you're scraping names, you will get busted.
What do you mean?
Scraping is so maybe your target audience has a website and you decide to go out there and pull all the executive emails off of it and put them into your list, even though they never signed up for anything, and then you decide to hit it with an email. That's spam. People do it all the time. So if you,
You're talking about data mining.
I'm sorry.
Data mining.
Yeah, data. Yeah. But they're scraping them, and that's illegal. Because the person never signed up for
If
it.
you're using an email to 20 people, and I'm sure that we got 9 people, you want to see them, get those emails and use them and do that. And I'm trying to clear it.
Okay, so if I don't know you at all, right? You're an executive of a company, and your name is out on the internet, on this webpage, and your email is right there. I copy that off, and I drop it into my marketing automation software, and I fire an email at you. That's illegal, because you never signed up for it. If you signed up and opted in, that's okay.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, but companies sell those things, don't buy those things.
There's people that use your email and send it to your email, sending like you sending it. How can we get rid of that?
If that happens to you, you need to go find out which company is doing it. If anybody like find out what email that came from. I know it says your email, but if one of your friends picked it up, I don't know how did you know they used your email? You know what, I have to look at that. That seems a little weird. Yeah, let me look at that there.
If you have emails, sorry, if you have emails as a result of just doing business in general with people, do they still have to opt in, or does that consider a consent to give you their email address?
They consider if you have talked to them in the past 2 years and you have a card, are they signed up for one of your events? Past 2 years, they're good to go. But I would remind them that they signed up for the list by doing what they did, right?
And give them the option you just mentioned, right?
Give them the option to sign into the newsletter. So don't just hit them with the newsletter. Say, hey, you attended this event. Would you like to sign up for our newsletter? And hit them that way.
My question is that I get so many political emails. I know how to get rid of them, but it's very time consuming.
Okay, there's, sorry. So to answer your question, there's actually a couple of different programs, and one of them, I don't remember the name of it because I've never used it before, but what do you use for email? Do you use Gmail or Yahoo or Yahoo? I don't know if it works for Yahoo, but there's a Chrome plugin that I've seen that'll actually look at all the emails that have unsubscribed in them and batch them into one area, and you can, one click, unsubscribe to everything. Okay? And don't sign up for political stuff anymore. That's your fault. I'm just making an argument.
Do you recommend to have the same password all the time or once though?
Same password on what?
To get into the different websites?
Oh my gosh, no. My recommendation.
Yeah, actually once the memory is gone.
Right, so I have two solutions for you. If you're having dementia like I do, about all your passwords and what you're doing, there are two ways you can go. You can sign up for a service that remembers all of them. So my recommendation is LastPass.com. It's free, and it will remember all of your passwords. LastPass. So LastPass.com. And that's my recommendation because I use it and I love it. And it signs me into everything whenever I hit the site. And it's using passwords. Either you can set the password or it makes the password for you. The only password you have to remember is the one master password, which they do not save. And if you lose that, you lose everything. So be very careful about that.
I could change
But that
the
one
password.
password will get you into the
I
inside.
could forget
Now, the other thing that I do is, you guys ever heard of Evernote?
Yeah.
Evernote is my favorite. It is so good. That's probably one of the best apps ever made. Evernote. EVERNOTE.com. There it is. Sign up for it.
Where's it for?
So if you go to Evernote, you sign up. Everything's in the cloud. They're very protected, right? And I have a codes thing. If you go in, you sneak into my thing, and you write in codes, you will find every password to every website on my financial stuff. So feel free to bounce around to Facebook. But if I can sign into Evernote, I can get to all those passwords. And it doesn't sync it, but what it does is let me remember what I wrote down for each one of them, right?
Evernote.
Where's my...
I heard that Evernote also has a feature where if you put in a scanned business card,
Yeah.
they actually put all the information for you. Is that a paid feature or?
No, it's a free feature. Yeah.
Could you demonstrate that later?
I'm sorry. It's not a free feature anymore. It's free. But you used to be able to take a snapshot and then it go right into your contacts. Now, you can do CamCard, which is free. And what a CamCard will do, it's an application. You take a picture of a business card, it'll suck all the information off and it'll put it right into your iPhone and contacts, which you will suck into Google. I hope.
Let me ask you a question. I found with CamCard sometimes because especially business cards that are frail,
Yeah.
it doesn't read it as well.
Yeah, I know, and that's what people think is stop being so silly with their business cards. Think digitally with your business card, not cool.
Does Evernote do a better job with the scanning and everything?
You know what, I don't use the scanner. Okay, Sunrise. So, I love Sunrise. Sunrise pulls all my calendars, my work calendar on Exchange, along with all of my Google calendars, because I always have all these different Google calendars for my family and stuff, and sucks them into one app. And I love it because it keeps me on track and it'll send me notifications. So if you're doing the several things where you have all these different calendars and you have to jump around to all these different things, I recommend sunrise.io. It's free and they will keep everything organized for you. So it's one of those things when you get into professional personal branding, because we have all these different things on, look for the apps that are going to make your life easier, right? That's what I'm going to be talking about just for the next few minutes, these kind of apps, but we'll get into Twitter and all that kind of stuff real soon. Okay.
Got a question.
Okay.
Yeah, does the Easy Do, does that?
Microphone.
Does that email them from Facebook or what's the source that they see when they open the happy birthday or whatever notification? it might be?
Oh, on Easily Do?
Yes.
It'll say, this is from Easily Do. But it's the same thing as like, it'll be from you. It'll be like, Don Schindler says happy birthday, and it'll say in small print, from Easily Do. Right? It's much like when somebody posts and they're using a third-party application like a Hootsuite or something, and it always gives that, hey, this came from Hootsuite, or this came from LinkedIn, like those, when you match apps. So it's going to say that from Easily Do, but it's going to look like it came from you. I can't ever say this word. Reported, right? Who uses Gmail? Anybody?
Yeah.
Great. This is fabulous, right? An email comes into Gmail, this pops up alongside of it. This is my actual email, right? So Denise Skidmore, she's from Hillmore Cheese, and what it does is my email is over here, and right alongside it in that area where the ads usually go, this pops up and it says, hey, here's Denise. Here's where she's at on LinkedIn. It'll also give LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all the different connections, and it'll show how you're connected to her, and then you can add her to circles and give her plus. Right? How cool is that? Oh, by the way, in Sunrise, it pulls in all the social apps too. So when you're having a meeting with somebody, the little pictures and faces will all pop up. It's free, yeah.
It's called Report.
Reportive, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it'll pull all that information in. It's freaking awesome. It's a Chrome app. Chrome extension. And if you're using Internet Explorer, I'm so sorry, but stop using bad browsers.
Stop using what?
Bad browsers, Internet Explorer. And if your company's using that, slap the IT guy in the head. CRM. So my company uses Salesforce. If you are a nonprofit, 501(c), okay, 80% off for Salesforce. 80% off Salesforce through Salesforce Foundation if you are a nonprofit. If you are not using Salesforce, if you're a nonprofit, you should be. 501(c) though, you get that. 501(c)(3), nonprofit, can use Salesforce for 80% off.
That's good to know.
When you say nonprofit, is that a system that basically like everybody in the leadership could have access to, so we can all follow up, make sure who called who, when, what was discussed, the whole nine yards?
If you can get everybody to use it that way, yes.
That would be fantastic.
It's fabulous. So this is the customer relationship management. These are a couple other ones. I don't use these. I use Salesforce. But I hear Zoho is awesome, and Nimble's pretty good, and contractually, it's fairly cheap.
For Chambers of Commerce, you guys use CC Assist? Does anybody here use CC Assist?
We do. We do.
Customer relationship management.
CC Assist, I was just wondering if anybody, we use it, and it was made specifically for Chambers by former, it's pretty decent. I mean,
is it mobile friendly?
I don't know. That's a good question.
We,
If it's
we
not,
have that.
don't. Which one did he say? CC Assist.
It's actually one of the older ones.
You really need everything mobile friendly. And if you're running a company and you have a website and it is not mobile friendly, fire the web team, get a new web team, and get it mobile friendly.
Face to face is the best. Well, no existe, no. Yeah. So I cannot do face to face.
Did you hear that?
No, because she
Yeah, we
reported.
have it for our chamber foundation, and it's up to 11 users. Yeah, Salesforce foundation, and we have a foundation as well.
That's awesome. Did you hear that? If you have less than 11 users, you can use Salesforce for free if you're a nonprofit.
Now you might, that may not be true for 501(c)(4)s.
No, C4s don't have it.
So most of your chambers are C4s or C6s. But if you have a foundation, that's a C3.
We do have sorry, you got to C3. But if you call Salesforce, here's one. Use this contact, okay? Call Peter at Salesforce Foundation and harass him if 501(c)(4) exists. Because I got a lot of those in my industry, and I want to get them all in the foundation. And I can't. He'll love that. I want you guys all to call Peter Von Shepard. What? You know what? We'll link up with him on the LinkedIn class. We'll all link up to him. Email marketing. My favorites here, we use Exact Target. That is a Cadillac of email marketing, okay? It's not cheap, okay? So, if you're looking for inexpensive and good, constant contacts not bad, MailChimp rocks.
Hay mucha competencia.
For if you don't care, if you have a little logo at the bottom, they're one of the best out there. You can send up to 2,000, you have 2,000 people on your list, you can send up to 12,000 emails a month to those people. Please don't, but you could. Right? So if you have a small company, small business, I really recommend MailChimp. They do a great job. And you can use them as sort of a makeshift CRM if you don't have that in place.
We use virtual response.
Oh, great. Virtual response. IM is really good too.
So
there's tons of them.
I have a question on this because we use constant contact, but what we've noticed is if we are sending out like images.
I'm so sorry.
So we use constant contact, and what we've realized is that sometimes a lot of people won't open our emails, and it's hard for them to upload. Like when we upload images, it won't come across as the image. Like they have to click on it to open the image, and I think that hurts us. Does anybody have, or do you have any advice or any suggestions? Are you guys running into the same thing?
Does anybody else want to ask a question on that? Because I've got a whole crap load of stuff on this email marketing.
I was just saying, we give them the response, we give them the option to go to the web. And if you can't see this, go to your browser.
Yeah, nobody does that.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
But I just wanted to add that this is sort of something that we're doing contact partners with the chambers of commerce.
Oh, great.
So we, all we have to do, they have a special program, and it's every chamber can use that. We use it for free.
What program?
Constant contact.
Yes.
It's free to chambers.
Yeah, but it's up to 500 people. Once you go to 500 people, you have to pay. Yeah, claro.
Okay, so
The chamber
Just
of
one more thing on
commerce
this,
left 200, 300.
just be careful to check what the limit is.
Oh, yeah.
How many before you have to pay.
Oh yeah, because MailChimp jumps from $30 a month once you get over 2,000.
With the chamber, it's no unlimited.
Unlimited on that, that's great. So to get into best practices of email marketing, it's changed quite a bit throughout the years. And my recommendation is be careful about the images. Always size appropriately outside of it before you drop them in there, right? Using animated GIFs is the new big thing. Animated GIFs. You can drop animated GIFs and they will work actually inside of email. Mobile friendly. Think mobile friendly all the time when you're doing email. If people have to like pinch and push and all that kind of stuff, they won't look at it. Why? Because all of us are looking at our email on our mobile devices. Right? We're not tied to our laptops, our iPads the way we're tied to our mobile device. Most likely that's where they're going to check it. Okay? Always be testing headlines. What I'm seeing right now for headlines are people getting very clever about their headlines. Right? So they'll ask questions within the headline to get people to click on it. Now those are spam marketers. Right? So be careful about that. If you are a legitimate business, right, Chamber of Commerce, there's nothing wrong with putting Chamber of Commerce newsletter for your headline and saying the month and the date or whatever, right? Because if you're legitimate, which I'm assuming you are, and you're actually putting good information in the email, right, then they'll open it. And if they're not opening it, then you really need to look at the content because that's the problem, right? So what about text marketing? Don't do it. The reason I say don't do text marketing, SMS, people feel very close to people that are using text messaging, right? When you're texting back and forth with your people and your friends, it's intimate. It's like cold calling phone numbers, It's like we don't cold call anymore because cold calling doesn't work, right? SMS is the same way. You spam me through text messaging, I'm not going to be happy about it. So just be careful with that. People are okay with email.
But at the same time, great large organizations like National Council de la Raza, NCLR, through the text alert, that's the only time, I don't know if y'all feel the same. At the same time, I've seen a large organization, National Council de la Raza, NCLR, be very effective with SMS in terms of comprehensive immigration reform. In fact, when I see an NCLR alert, I feel like it's instantaneous and
That's for calls, okay? Cause marketing is very, very different. And I would say that if you're like the American Red Cross and stuff like that, you can do those kind of things. But don't hit me from your laundry service.
So maybe from an advocacy perspective, if you have
Advocacy version, yes, very, very different. Okay? And cause marketing is effective because they don't feel like that's marketing. They feel like they're trying to help, you're trying to help the cause. You know, you can get behind it, except for the political stuff in the back.
Not for sales.
Not for sales. Yeah.
I don't know, those restaurants send me stuff, and sometimes, like, they'll send me a discount, and I'll take advantage of it, even though, but they don't ask me.
They've asked you about that. Yeah. And you're one of the few. Not many people do that. No, because they get annoying after a while.
Well, the doctor is annoying, because I'm already paid money.
Yeah.
I was going to say, along the lines, so I've signed up for some of the retailers, and with the geo tracking, I drive right by, so they get paid. And after a while,
it gets annoying. Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry I drive by you every day to work, because we take the same routes, and that can get way annoying. Okay, we're going to get into the different digital tools to help control your online presence, your reputation. Now, I'm going to hit on blogging, but we're not going to dive in on blogging. So if you're I'm not setting up a blog today. My God, right? What we're doing is we're going to talk about how effective it is. Okay? The reason I have a Death Star up here is because this is my Death Star. This is my place on the internet that no one else controls but me. Right? I'm my own little Darth Vader. This is all mine. I built it using other people's software, right? But no one can change the rules on me, right? So when we talk Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, all those places, we call those embassies because you're essentially sitting on someone else's property that they can change the rules on you overnight, as Facebook did with all the companies, right? They went from,
Do you want to take a quick break before you go into this?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Does that sound good? All right, 5 minutes, because we're only going to the floor, so.
Okay, good. I'm trying. You like it? So what do we do? As soon as you
Trying to stay awake?
Yeah.
Okay, Eunice, would you have a picture photo? You don't want to, okay, so
Little mess?
try it. Thank you so much. Try it. It's a really good food. You just got back?
Like 5 minutes ago. Game was a little longer than I thought. I forget, because I'm used to watching 9-year-olds play. They have 20-minute halves. Like this is a 15-year-old playing 30-minute halves. No, I coach before too. chair, but the teacher's chair. And Stanley is the executive director.
Yo ya había escuchado ya. Ya agarré una, ya me está sentando aquí.
Because Stanley's on we had a conference call trying to pull this company together, and they all said no.
So it's very
Stanley's
I know by I mean, I know him like.
Stanley is the executive director, and Betty Sewell is the chair, Dr. Renee is the vice chair, there's an Angela Burnett, and then some Fisher. It doesn't, but you see, in this,
Isn't that far? That's the biggest way. What's the big deal?
it's trying to bring it together. And I said, okay, let's do it. And then, like, their whole board turned against me and said, no, I want you to come in. And I'm like, oh, this is like, so I talked about what, like, it's not, it's like, you should start your own. Like, hell, I started out, like, because I was frustrated with their chamber. It's like, they weren't doing anything. Like, it was embarrassing for our community to see that they had and that's the main reason I started. Like, we got to fix this. So I spent 3 years trying to fix the first event. 2011, kept the movement until last year it's just, it's got my own. It's like, I need to find leadership again. And then that's when I thought Dean helped me out. We came on board and we started building it from there and man, it comes expanding and hey, it's business together, so let's do it. Conference call and then
I mean, I don't know because you guys have fun art and all that, but really, I think that it just makes sense that we're all one.
Yeah, and that's what everybody else says. And I didn't want it to be the same thing too, but Dean was like, we should just consider it. But here's the main reason why though, is because we don't want their reputation of being our brand. And that's the thing, because all their sponsorships should have. Before I even started my channel, all their sponsorships didn't. Now I have everybody on my, the bus, besides Meg. I have a meeting up Tuesday. So everybody.
Hi Aaron, thank you for showing my listing at 4292 West Campbell Crossing. Today at 12:30 to 1:30. Would you mind giving us a feedback? Thank you.
Because there are a lot of senior people, they're like,
yeah, they're all old and like retired and everything. And they know that.
well, but here's the thing. I mean, she's strong. We have her like wanting to come with us.
She was all
And so the thing is, I don't even think that they have enough that they don't
and Stanley
Yeah, it's crazy.
we've tried several times. I've tried to keep it moving like we have.
I think we do. I don't think it would take that. I just think that
I just know what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
have anything. We have I know we have
It's like, it's good to be, because it's all about the purpose of the mission. I mean, our debates are good debates, because we're all after the same purpose, not one purpose. No, we should.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started again.
I think we just need to